Hey there, so today we're going to talk about questions about picking the best homeowners insurance policy. Maybe you're wondering when you should start shopping for insurance. Well, I'm going to talk about that right now. Hi, I'm Jess Powers, and I'm a real estate agent serving buyers and sellers throughout Rhode Island and southern Massachusetts. Stick around to the end because I'm going to give you an option to download a free homebuyer's guide as well as a copy of my list of preferred insurance providers. So let's get started. When should you begin shopping for a policy? Well, as early as possible. Once you have a signed purchase agreement, you can start shopping, and the earlier you reach out for a quote, the better a deal you may get. A lot of companies offer what's called an advanced shopper discount, and also by shopping early, you've got the added benefit of working through any potential hiccups that you find along the way. Now, how much should you insure your home for? Well, most insurance policies will provide a replacement cost coverage. This means it's the cost to rebuild your home from the ground up in the event of a total catastrophe. Now, this number, it may be different than your purchase price, and that is totally normal. The market value of a home is determined by other factors like the neighborhood or the location and comps and current trends, whereas the replacement cost is really just a function of square footage, quality of the home, and the construction cost. So don't be alarmed when you see these numbers vary, but do make sure your home is insured to 100% of the cost to rebuild it. You don't want to skimp on that number. What should your policy cover? Well, damage to your home from things like fire or windstorm, lightning, vandalism, or other disasters. Depending on where you're located, these risks are going to be assessed differently, and the policy is going to cover your home itself, inside and out. It will also cover damage to your belongings like furniture or appliances and clothing. It will also cover other structures like a property's garage or a shed. It's also going to cover the living expenses in the event of a fire or other claim, so you've got someplace else to live during that time. Lastly, it's also going to give you liability coverage, which protects you against bodily injury lawsuits, like if someone gets hurt and sues you. Now, what affects the price of home insurance? Well, there are a lot of factors that go into price, but in general, risk and rate equate. The more risk there is, the higher the rate will be. So a larger home is going to cost more to insure than a smaller one. An out-of-date home is going to cost more to insure than a newer one or a more updated one. A home with lots of dogs or animals, they may be fun, but they're also going to cost more. Houses on the water or in a high wind or flood area as well, of course that's going to cost more than one that's inland. A house that has fire hydrants, believe it or not, on the street will cost less to insure than one that doesn't have hydrants. Also, multi-family houses, they definitely cost more than a single family. You get the gist. The more risk, the more money it costs. Will bundling with car insurance save you money? Well, sometimes, but not always. It's kind of a gimmick. Big companies give you really great rates on car insurance, tell you get a discount for bundling, and then they give you a crazy high rate on home insurance. So the bundle, it's not always the best deal. So definitely you should shop around, make sure you're giving yourself the best pricing and the best coverage that you can get. Should you go with a broker or a specific company? Well, I vote go with an insurance broker. They can look at all of your options with various companies and give you a range of options. I also recommend that you work with someone that's got really great customer service. They've got to be willing to not only help you shop around for a policy, but they've also got to help you if you've got questions about your policy. You want to be able to understand your coverage. And also, if you've got any claims, you want to be able to have a help maneuvering through that claim process. Finally, work with someone who's willing to check your rates a few times a year, because you deserve to have the best policy and the best rate for your home, and you got to stay on that, folks. Now, download my home buyer guide. I've got specific questions you can ask your insurance provider and my preferred list of insurance brokers that you can reach out to. And of course, if you've got any questions or you need help with the home search, well, reach out. I'm always here to help.